Cowboys Nation, let me ask you something. How often do you see a quarterback go from being doubted, criticized, and nearly written off to suddenly dropping jaws with just one perfect throw? Well, that's exactly what just happened with Dallas Cowboys quarterback Joe Milton. And fans are buzzing. Because this isn't just about one touchdown pass in a meaningless preseason game. No, this is about the future of the Cowboys quarterback room. And maybe, just maybe, a sneak peek into life after Dak Prescott. Stick with me, because what we just saw from Milton is the type of story that changes the way fans look at a young player. This isn't just another preseason highlight. This could be the beginning of something much bigger. Now let's rewind the tape a little bit. When the Cowboys first traded for Joe Milton, fans scratched their heads. Why on earth would Dallas bring in a 6th-round draft pick from the Patriots when Dak Prescott is still running the show? Milton wasn't your typical rookie. He was known as a physical freak of nature, a rocket arm, a cannon that could throw faster than most people could blink. Remember the 2023 NFL Combine? Yeah, that was Milton setting records with 62 miles per hour throws. That's not just arm strength, that's basically baseball fastball speed from an NFL quarterback. But here's the problem. As strong as his arm was, he couldn't always control it. Scouts worried about his accuracy. He would overthrow receivers. He would zip passes way too hard on short routes. He had the physical gifts, but the touch, the finesse, that was missing. And for Cowboys fans, the trade didn't make sense at all. Why invest in a quarterback project when the team is in win-now mode? Why not grab another piece to help Dak win a Super Bowl this year? Those doubts only grew louder during the first couple of preseason games. Milton looked shaky. He missed throws, he didn't look ready. Fans online were already saying, "This guy's not it." It seemed like the narrative was being written before his story had even started. But here's where it gets interesting. In the final preseason game, Joe Milton flipped the script. Against the Falcons, Milton looked different, confident, composed, in total control. He went 10 for 18, throwing for 132 yards. And then it happened. The moment that made fans sit up and say, "Wait a second, maybe this guy really can play." It was the third quarter. Milton took the snap, dropped back, and threw an absolute dime to Jalen Brooks. Not a rocket, not an overthrow, not one of those too much heat passes that bounce off a receiver's hands. No, this was pure touch. A perfect loft. The ball floated right over the defender and landed exactly where only Brooks could grab it. And in that one play, Joe Milton showed everyone something they hadn't seen before: finesse. Earlier in preseason, he had missed on that same type of route. He had thrown it too far, too high. But this time, he nailed it. That's growth. That's progress. That's the kind of improvement that makes coaches sit up in their chairs and say, "Okay, maybe we've got something here." Let's be clear. His preseason numbers don't jump off the page. A 55% completion rate, 397 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Those aren't superstar stats. But for a young quarterback learning the speed of the NFL, that's enough to build hope. And hope is exactly what Cowboys Nation is feeling right now. Because while Dak Prescott is still the leader of this team, make no mistake, Dak is still one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Milton might just be the future waiting in the wings. Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer has been drilling Milton all off-season on mechanics, timing, and decision-making. He's been teaching him that quarterbacking isn't about throwing the hardest ball in the world. It's about throwing the right ball at the right time. And Milton, he's been a sponge. He's working on footwork. He's working on reading defenses. He's taking every snap like it's a chance to prove he belongs. And most importantly, he's not afraid to admit when he's still learning. That humility might be his secret weapon. Because as big as his arm is, it's his mindset that could make him a star. He said it himself, "Rome wasn't built in a day. I just have to keep chipping away." That's a player who understands the grind. So what does this all mean for the Cowboys? Well, Dak Prescott is still the starter. That won't change. At least not this season. Dallas is going all in right now. They've added George Pickens. They're gearing up for another Super Bowl run. Dak is the guy they trust to get them there. But behind the scenes, Joe Milton is developing, quietly, patiently. And if he keeps improving, he could be the quarterback who takes over when the Prescott era comes to an end. And here's the thing, every franchise needs that next guy ready to step in. The Packers had Aaron Rodgers waiting behind Brett Favre. The Chiefs had Patrick Mahomes waiting behind Alex Smith. Could Joe Milton be the guy waiting behind Dak Prescott? It's too early to say for sure. But one thing's certain, that throw to Jalen Brooks wasn't just a touchdown. It was a statement, a glimpse of what could be. And for Cowboys fans who were skeptical, who were frustrated about this trade, maybe now, just maybe, they're starting to believe. Because sometimes all it takes is one throw to change everything. And Cowboys fans, this is just the beginning. The regular season is here, and the stories are only going to get bigger. If you want to keep up with every headline, every surprise, and every moment that could change the NFL, make sure you don't miss my next video. Click right here to check out the latest news and updates across the NFL. Because trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.